clock out, come home and drink away. To bash and burn the weekly plays. Douchey calls and sweaty balls, this is Scotch sporting.
Could you hear the intro this time?
I did.
Yes, I fixed it. That's awesome. Oh man, I feel really short. Oh, that was the wrong way.
Wow. What are you, 5'9", 5'10"?
5'10"-ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
I like to, Lindsay likes to tell me that I'm not 5'10", and that's why I say ish.
Yeah. What?
What?
Anyways, Dave's upstairs. This Sunday?
This Sunday.
Damn it, David. I wanted to start talking about the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Right.
Because I haven't spoken to you guys in a couple weeks in this forum.
Right.
And I feel multiple actors are coming out being like, ooh. There was one that was said I forget, one of the leads said the fandom is either going to love it or hate it.
Oh.
This is why I told you that I'm keeping my expectations.
Yeah, that's not. And then the lead, Matt Smith,
Yeah.
said there's too much sex. There might be too much sex in this.
Too much?
So
Wow.
Maybe he watched season 8. It's like,
Yeah,
and there's only that one scene.
That's right. There's
right?
only one sex scene in all of season 8. So clearly this show is meant for children.
when the actors are going in saying you might hate it, I feel a bit like, ugh.
And that's shocking to me. I feel like for me, it feels like this fire. What's it called? Blood and Fire and Blood, Fire and.
Isn't it just House of Dragons?
House Dragon, yeah. Why? I don't know why I thought it was crazy. House Dragon, that's right. You saw what happened. You saw how it went wrong. You see the building blocks are there for a good show.
Yep.
The world is already set for you. Just don't suck.
Just
You
don't.
still need good writers.
But just don't suck.
Do you think this was something like, when was this greenlit? Was this something that was like,
It would have been
greenlit
before. It would have been before. Yeah, before the finale.
and like
Because they greenlit 2 of them, right?
Yes.
And then one.
the wheels had started in motion, and then they saw how terrible the last season was and how the fandom reacted to it.
Right.
What level of expectation are you going into? Oh, first of all, welcome to Reigns of Podcastamere,
By the way,
Game of Thrones podcast.
the Reigns of Podcastamere YouTube channel has been activated as of today.
Woo!
So we're ready to go. Because remember when we activated the Scotch Sporting one, I couldn't stream on it immediately. It needed to be alive for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I made sure I did the Reigns of Podcastamere. So now you can go and subscribe. Reigns of Podcastamere, although it is hard to find on. I tried to search it a couple times and it wouldn't come up. So maybe give it a day or two. But we should be
YouTube algorithms.
We should be searchable by Sunday. But my expectation level is, I'm cautiously optimistic.
You sounded sky high the other day, man. When we were talking about it.
I'm still cautiously optimistic. Again, the trailers look incredible. Like, no matter what, the show is gonna look very good.
That was never the issue.
No,
I mean, some of the early
looked great.
Some of the early stuff was a little, spray painted cardboard. You could tell, right? Like some of it, but not very much.
What about then the blackout battle scene?
Couldn't see anything. So I don't know what was happening.
Circle.
Yeah.
Mark, your expectations?
Oh, very low. Very low. I'm not even excited. I'm just, okay, so it's,
Wow.
I didn't know it was this Sunday. When you said excited for the Sunday, I'm like, are you talking about Friday? When we do the karaoke?
Well, I guess I have to watch this for the podcast again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be impressed. I don't know. I love the world, so that gives me hope. You know,
Yeah.
like I loved the world that it was all set in, but I'm just not excited about these. And then the Targaryens were never my favorite storyline.
No.
That's the other thing I think I'm anxious about.
Yeah. Who?
Amelia, this is like thousands of years before Amelia Clark.
200 years.
Fantasy World of Yours.
It's only 200?
Yeah.
Way too soon.
I agree. Because it pushes up against, right? Like it's.
What was your question, Dave?
Is Amelia Clark in it?
Amelia Clark is not in it.
Not getting ratings.
What was that?
You're not, you said good luck getting ratings. Did you guys see
Damn.
Sean Bean was in the news?
Oh God! What a stupid fucking thing to say! Oh
He's-
my God!
He's not a nice guy, and this isn't a I think he's had a bunch of wives. I think he's been accused of some slappy slaps with
Mhm.
some of the wives. Like, he's not the greatest person, but then if you missed it, Ned Stark came out with intimacy coordinators on set ruin the vibe,
Right? Because
and we should be able to like ad lib and go with the flow and stuff.
yes, because I want my dick actually touching genitals like that. I
As a
want
woman,
to actually have sex.
Yeah,
And
as
those-
a woman, I really love you if you tell me exactly what you're gonna do,
hmm
and that's what I agree to. I really love it when you do not do what I've agreed to.
Right, and
I
you're
feel
like,
that
how about-
consent?
Hey, how about I just put my dick right in?
I mean, but if it's like okay, that's what we've planned. We're
No,
you know,
we're on the day, and I'm like,
This is
I'm
method
really,
acting.
I'm really
This is
feeling
method
it.
acting.
I'm really
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
it. Got that
Method
full on rager with this room full of people. I can't even imagine.
what a dipshit.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen somebody say in
But he's a-
public.
Oh, really?
What? Oh, I mean,
That-
I'm sure I've heard people say worse in private, but yeah, in public, like to say something that's stupid.
Yeah, I guess like it wasn't a slip up, and it wasn't like he genuinely believes this.
Yeah, it's a weird stance.
I am a little bit sick, so my voice is a bit grovelly. You asked if I was in COVID protocol. I am not.
Well, that's good. So you did not do the thing.
I did not do the thing.
Although, as we're gonna find out, we have to relegate doing the thing back to actually doing the thing rather than COVID.
Yeah, I think. Well, because COVID's over, guys.
Mhm. We've learned that.
You know, I've been testing every day for work. It isn't COVID. It is my child now sees other children and brings home other kid diseases.
The best.
So he had a stuffy nose last week, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks."
Mhm.
And then now,
Yep.
here it is for me, and it got worse and turned into a cold, and I've forgotten what it's like to be sick.
Yeah, it sucks.
Chris, you work with members of the public
I do.
a lot.
I do.
Are you back to being kind of sick like normal?
Not really. I think. I mean, yeah, because like I don't wear a mask to work anymore. And I know for the 2 years that we did wear masks, like I didn't get sick once, like not once. So people are like, "Oh, masks do nothing." That's fucking horseshit. I did not get sick in 2 years, and I worked with the public for that whole 2 years. So like, but
And why did you decide to not continue with your mask?
well, as we've stated, COVID is over.
Yeah,
And it's just uncomfortable, and like and when you get to the point where it's you know, like no customers are wearing them anymore, none of the staff are really wearing them anymore, and they're not, and you know, it's not mandated anymore. So it's just like, well, why am I doing it? You know, and especially now I've had COVID. It was not a big deal. And I mean, yeah, I guess I got lucky, and I know there's the thing with the every time you get it, it's like a 20% chance of long COVID and whatever. I'm at this point, you know, maybe if I get it a second time. What's that? Sorry?
Very Aaron Rodgers-y of you. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah. Well, I took some ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine or whatever the fuck it's called. I took that. Yeah. And then my house in Mar-a-Lago got raided, so you know I'm fine.
Mark, are you guys masked?
No, we have a color code system at work that we use. If it's green, that means masks aren't mandated. If it's yellow, masks are optional. If it's like red, then
Oh, so
masks
I
are
guess
mandatory.
that's based on if someone in the facilities had
Yeah.
it or there's a scare of someone having it. Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was on set today. I've been on set a couple times this week, and I wore a mask because it's like, well, my kid has something.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just want to protect everybody.
And that's what I do now. If I'm sick, I go into work. I wear a mask, and I think that might be the best thing to come out of this whole COVID thing, is that people are like, oh, I'm sick. I'm well enough to do my job, but I'm still sick that I don't want to give it to somebody else. So people are way
Yeah.
more likely to wear masks. Every person in my workplace, if they're sick, they wear a mask.
Yep,
So
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's been fun being back on set and fun completely ignoring COVID, and it's fun being reunited
Yep.
with all of us, and we will see each other IRL in 2 days.
Very exciting.
2 days.
What are the rules for karaoke roulette? You teased it in the chat, and we never got any actual
Well, I'm
rules.
going to write them all out. So if
Okay.
you want a preview, folks, write it down. So I was going to, based on our respective ages, set not a genre, a chronological limit to the songs we choose. Nothing after 2010. And nothing before, because I need everyone to have a chance of knowing it. So what
Right.
karaoke roulette is you walk into the karaoke room, you take 10 minutes to write down a bunch of songs, and then you reach your hand in, you pull out a number or the name, and that's the song you're singing. So the rules are you get 3 things. We can give multiple of each 3 things if we'd like. First thing is you can call someone else up to sing it with you.
Right.
You can you can fully tag out, but that person has to be a willing participant, or you get 1 absolute skip.
Okay.
And I would say the majority of the room has to agree that it's worth a skip.
Oh, okay.
But I was thinking, yes, nothing later than 2010, nothing earlier maybe than let's say the 70s. So we really hit our stride of things we know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. No random B-sides that no one but you will know. So I would
So this
say
list, should we prepare writing songs now in preparation for submission?
you gotta see what the book is. Like
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
gotta-
see what the room has. But you
Okay.
I would say you get 2, bring up a friend to sing with you.
Mhm.
1 or 2 you can tag out, but that person has to be a willing participant. And then you get 1 complete denial.
All right. So I will make a spreadsheet for that,
Oh,
so we keep track of all that stuff. 'Cause that's my thing.
Oh, Mark.
I had to do We Didn't Start the Fire
Oh God.
knowing that song at all.
Did you just yell, Ryan started the fire, though?
It's
I
so
kind of knew this
started
was
the
like maybe
fire.
10 or 12 years ago. I kind of knew the chorus. And I knew like da 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 da.
wow.
CCR. So I can get up and do that.
Right.
You guys can get up and do anything.
Perfect.
Well, but It's the End of the World by REM. Like, that's another, like,
Yeah.
quick topping.
Or I Want You by Savage Garden.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Little precursor of probably the shit I'm going to be putting in.
I'm putting
Yeah.
only Tool songs.
No.
No. I'll put ones from before 2010. That's fine.
What's the Tool song? Oh, Schism, right? Is Schism Tool?
Schism would be the Tool song. Yes.
Yes. I can do karaoke of just that bass part, then I guess. Is that where he yells, I know the pieces fit?
Yeah.
The pieces fit. Okay. So I could do Schism
There you go.
if you want. And what was a Perfect Circle's big song then?
Oh God. Either 3 Libras or what's the other one? Fuck. I can't think of it. I can't think of the name.
Okay.
Judith.
I was gonna say, was it a Judith? Is Judith
Yeah,
a song?
Judith would have been their other big. Their big like that. And that's from their OG album too.
So those are the karaoke roulette rules. I
Very
will
exciting.
post them after I write them out and decide what to assign. I used to have a rule, and maybe you guys can help me with this, of if I put in like name a Tool song, any Tool song.
Name a Tool song.
Name a Tool.
46 and 2.
If I reach in as me and I pull out Tool 46 and 2,
Yeah.
and the entire room is like, boo.
Oh.
It gets like, if everyone
gets
agrees
poo-pooed?
that no one knows it, it gets
Okay.
booted.
Okay. And 46 and 2 is pretty good though.
Can you sing it?
No.
Okay.
I can't sing at all. It's great. It's gonna be great.
So I might slide in some Rage Against the Machine. I think I've done Killing in the Name as karaoke. It actually works pretty well.
Yeah.
It's very repetitive.
Yep. I know all the lyrics.
There's like four lyrics.
4 lines in the whole song.
You might as well throw up tequila,
That's a good one. That's a good
and
one.
then you miss it.
Oh,
That would be me too. Wipeout is Wipeout like that too?
I think so. Yeah. That's at the very beginning though, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's right. I'd still miss it.
what about Louie Louie? And you can just say anything.
Yeah, you just mumble words.
Tell me, what should Dave and I, as non-Ticats fans but wanting to support the Ticats this weekend, what should we be wearing?
Any black and gold. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't wear blue. That's a safe. Yeah, blue jeans
Green.
are fine. Blue jeans are
Or
fine.
red.
But yeah, black and
Green,
yellow.
red.
Did we agree that don't wear Steelers things, or is that acceptable?
That is not acceptable.
Okay. Penguins?
Not acceptable. Bruins not acceptable.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go with a black T-shirt. 'Cause
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know it's great. You get to watch them lose. The starting quarterback is not playing this week. It's going to be very, very fun.
We won't have a fourth quarter lead to blow this time.
That's
so that'll
right.
be nice.
That's right.
Are we all pessimistic now?
Oh, this season's over. As far as the Ticats go, the season's over. And the worst part is that they'll probably still make the playoffs.
Mark, have you given up?
I'm a little bit more optimistic. I still think there's time to try and fix this, but
We
that
have
fourth quarter issue.
no receivers.
Yeah.
Our only good receiver got hurt on a non-contact play. We have no
He got carted
receivers.
off. I saw that.
We have no receivers.
Is Evans hurt, or
Evans is hurt. Something wrong with his shoulder. He's getting an MRI tonight. It is.
If he's gone, then yeah, the season's really over.
still unlikely that he will start, but they haven't said for sure yet. So
I read today that whoever your backup is was taking the first team reps.
Matthew
Schlitz.
Schultz,
That's it.
but I call him Schlitz, like the beer.
Child of Chris Schultz?
No, not Schultz. Schultz.
No.
Schultz.
Say what you just said one more time.
Not Schultz. Schultz. It's
Schultz?
an I. It's an I.
Schultz?
Correct.
What's his name? Matthew Schultz?
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible name. Dude.
Does he have a better face?
But that's what I'm doing.
That's what we're checking.
Okay, he's a child. Oh yeah, he's cute. I wouldn't like be really excited about it, but I wouldn't kick him out of bed, for eating cookies.
What are we doing here? Like, look at this. What I'm getting. I gotta go. Matthew Schultz, CFL. There we go.
The
I
hell?
got him right away. He looks like French Canadian.
Is it because he played for the Alouettes?
Maybe. I don't know. He's very. He's like a 5. He's a true 5.
There you go.
Because he's not generic looking.
Right.
Like he has fairly interesting features.
Right.
But he isn't swinging the pendulum to unattractive, but he's not swinging the pendulum to attractive. He's a full 5. He's like a drunk 5. Drunk 5, sober 5. He's 6'3". He's not particularly crazy tall for a quarter. He's just okay. Oh, he's 29. He's not a kid.
No. He's been around for a while. He played for Montreal for a few years.
His dad is Jim Schultz.
Jim Schultz.
Not Schultz. Well, by talking about sports, we transition to sports.
Let's do it.
We've been away a little bit. Oh boy, with our shock.
Had to do it. By the way, you crushed it with that the LOL V, by the way. That's all you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Please head on over to our YouTube page for the full rundown of Chris's glorious glorious episode titles. I'm just trying to see really great podcasting. I'm just clicking into something.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find our predictions.
Oh, yes.
I just don't know where I would have filed it.
Well, I hope we didn't lose them. That would be awful.
I mean, if anything, we have it recorded, so it'd just be harder to.
Yeah, Mark would have to go back and listen.
Did I archive it?
I can't wait for that. That's always the best, our prognostication recap.
Okay, here it is. It's an archive. I archived it for some reason. I'm just clicking over to our 2022.
Our prognostications. Let's see who.
We start the clock.
Oh, start the clock?
Oh no! Before we start the clock.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. This is really fantastic. Okay.
Okay.
We are back with our Scotch Sporting lead off, where we take 5 topics, I intro them, and we give us a minute to talk about it. We will start the first one with, I had made a note of who had Serena Williams retiring on their bingo card. Going back to our prognostications that we made about 2022, at the end of 2021, we always kind of predict wild stories. Did anyone have Serena Williams retiring? I did.
Nice.
I did.
Wow.
Miscellaneous, will we see any major retirements? If so, who? I said Verlander, Serena Williams, and Federer. So there's still time. Mark, you said Federer. Tyler said nothing major. Chris, you said Jumbo Joe wins the cup and rides off into the sunset.
God damn it.
So,
Stupid Panthers.
are you guys surprised? So Serena Williams announced her retirement, and she was beautiful Vogue cover, and then talked about, I thought very, very candidly, how things aren't super fair. As a female athlete, you kind of have to make the choices we all do in our careers, I think, as women, of kids versus your career, and especially when your body is your career and then you need to devote your body. And, she made a very good point in the article about, Tom Brady would never be faced with the decision. I don't want to retire right now. I want to keep playing, but I can't.
Yeah.
My body is needed now for something else. So I really appreciated her doing that. My questions for you guys are either of you surprised by the announcement and or the timing? And is there any argument that she is like the greatest female athlete of all time? Or is there an asterisk just for tennis?
I'm surprised. I didn't expect it. But is there an asterisk for or best female? Like, she's the most dominant in her sport, in any sport, like man, woman, no one's been as dominant as her. So
my thought was, and for you and maybe Mark, you can elaborate. Like, a lot of people, there's arguments about GOAT or not. You know, Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, Kobe Bryant versus Michael Jordan. There's never
Nothing.
been a question about Serena Williams. Mark,
No.
are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, given her age, I mean, she was on decline. The timing isn't that outlandish, given that the U.S. Open is coming up. So, if you want to get one last, watch of Serena, especially at home, announce it now and then have the U.S. Open. Like tonight, tickets to go see her tonight was $400.
Oh wow,
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Say, like, do you think that she said it early to give people a chance to see her?
Absolutely.
rather than,
Oh, yeah.
like, wait until
Yeah,
the tour
absolutely.
and then-
I mean, this Vogue interview was what, maybe a month ago? So she
Yeah.
knew it was coming.
Yeah,
So she timed it, right?
because she's brilliant. So we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast. For the last 2 years, Doing the Thing has been catching COVID, but COVID is over and everyone catches it anyways. So we can go back to the original Don't Do the Thing, which is just don't rape people, don't sexually harass people, don't
Drink and drive.
don't drink and drive. Just it's really easy to not do these things. You know, you have a shit ton of money. You can hire any prostitute you want. You can get a driver at any point. I order Ubers. I'm not rich.
Yeah.
You're a rich, successful athlete. Yeah, you don't need to drive yourself. It's okay. So we had 2 former NFLers.
Can I just do this real quick? Can we talk about that?
That was going to be my. Can you please describe Mark and Chris? So the first thing, and maybe we're going to split this. We're going to do 2 2-minute things here. Marshawn Lynch was arrested in Las Vegas for speeding and hopping the curb. Apparently, he was pulled over just near the Strip. I don't know if either of you have had the joy of driving in Las Vegas.
No.
You can't, unless you're on the highway, especially anywhere near the Strip, it is impossible to drive fast.
Right.
With the amount of lights and pedestrians and it's freaking impossible. So to be able to drive fast enough that you're going to get pulled over is what a feat. I need you guys to take the minute and describe Marshawn Lynch's. I need you to describe his mugshot.
Well, if you see this picture, the first thing you say is, "I wonder why they pulled him over," because
He's bald.
I mean, he could be caught mid-blink.
nah, dude.
I'm just saying. It
I
happens.
mean, it does happen, but his eyes are not. They're not open. Like, he's struggling.
Do you think, is he drunk struggling or sleepy struggling?
No, he's ripped off his. I'm making the marijuana motion for the audio listeners.
Because it is legal in Nevada.
Sure. It's legal everywhere. Not when you're driving, though.
Some states it isn't legal,
Right.
but Nevada,
Sorry. You're right. Sorry. I assume
is-
that it should be legal everywhere. We're like, get with it, guys. It's
it
2022.
really should be. What are you doing? Mark, can you describe like the expression?
Still think it's like a mid-blink kind of face.
So you think the shade is on the person that took the picture?
It could be. You could argue both sides.
Because they could very easily retake that to be like, oh, he was blanking.
But no, I mean, if they're going to make a mugshot, you want the stupidest one.
Yes.
You don't want the nice one. You want the dumbest one.
That's what I mean. Like, this is whoever's job it is to take the mugshots.
Their job is to take the worst picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, this will do. This will do just fine. Okay, so the other NFL Don't Do thing, Frank Gore, which kind of came out of nowhere because he's one of those, he was a kind of a bit of a league nice guy at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe because he was super old, was arrested in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on domestic assault charges for dragging a naked woman by her hair across the hotel hallway.
Seems like a completely reasonable thing to do.
I mean, we can't really riff on this because it's horrifying.
Mhm.
You know, and she's super young. I think they said in the article she was 28. Can you take 30 seconds, or let's take the minute. Is don't do the thing back to drunk driving officially, or is it still COVID? And if it is COVID, we got to think of a new name for it then.
No, it's no. I want it back. I don't want it on COVID anymore.
It's or about drinking, domestic abuse.
Yeah, it's about these very rich athletes not being able to do the basic bare minimum of following the rules of society.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to come up with a service where we write the formal apologies for athletes.
Right.
Like, it isn't hard. So it's arguably hard to be a good person.
Sure.
It's not hard to do nothing.
That is absolutely true.
You know, it's not hard to just, you don't need to do the right thing versus the wrong thing. You just need to not do the thing.
Yeah, just don't rape people.
So yeah, no one's asking you like to not have sex and get blasted at a casino. We're just don't
Clock out.
get in a car, you know?
Right.
You don't have to do the right thing and call a cab. Just don't do anything then. Shocked Pikachu meme number 3. Speaking of do not rape, the World Juniors are happening now. After being postponed in December from everyone getting COVID.
Right.
And it's happening in Canada. It's being hosted by Hockey Canada. And if you have not been following the news, major scandal, obviously, around Hockey Canada for sexual assault allegations against the 2018 World Junior team. And though I believe whispers have come out about Sidney Crosby's World Junior team as well.
Not about Sid, though.
I don't think so. He's a robot. How does he rape people if he doesn't have genitals?
Bleep blurp.
Bleep blurp blurp. So the sponsorships, there's nothing on the boards. You know, that I didn't even know what was going on. Like, there's zero advertising behind this. But the question is, why is Hockey Canada even hosting this? Would you have taken this to another city? And then the other, I linked you guys to an article that had a delightfully I don't want to live on this planet anymore Twitter poll about why don't you care about the World Juniors.
Mm-hmm.
And in first place, not because of the sexual assault scandal, in first place was it's summer. By like 20% or something ridiculous. I think 40% of the people were like, oh, I don't care because it's summer. It's hockey's not supposed to be on, compared to the 20% of the people that were like, it's terrible. Are you guys surprised at those numbers? And do you think Hockey Canada should be hosting?
I think they're only hosting because of logistics, right? Everything was set up for Canada for this year. And to try and turn this around to another country and have it all set up, lots of work.
I also think that, like, let's not forget, no other country in the world gives a fuck about this tournament. Like, Canada is the only country in the whole world that gives a fuck about this tournament. So that's why nobody cares, because they're not shoving it in our faces like they normally do. Like, you got the Boxing Day game and fucking TSN, like, it's all day. Oh, World Juniors, blah 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 blah. And it's like, I don't. They're kids. Like, why are we putting this much pressure on them? Oh, because that way they can go out and rape people.
Ew. Do you guys usually care about the World Juniors?
I have never cared about the World Juniors.
I do.
So are you surprised at the answers to...
No, because I'm not even watching it. It's the middle of the fucking summer. I'm like fully dedicated to baseball.
So Mark is also one of the summer people.
Yeah. Legit, I totally forgot it was even happening, and I saw a notification on my app like, oh, Canada scored against Latvia. Okay. How about that?
Oh, Mark.
Mark's like, what rapes?
No, but the rapes doesn't help either.
Right, of course. But it's summer, so all I care about is baseball, and football's starting in 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
I got a draft next week. I got
there you
to get
go.
prepped for.
What's your
It's summer. What are you talking about?
What's your team gonna be called this year?
Well, it depends on who's on my team.
No, too early to tell, huh?
Way too early.
I need you to talk me out of this. I was going to make this next week's topics, but you need to talk me out of keeping a quarterback, Mark, as you do every year.
Never keep a quarterback unless you're in a two QB league or a QB flex league.
We are in neither of those.
Yeah, exactly. So keep your running backs and wide receivers because they
Not
take
Joe
up more
Burrow.
positions.
Not
was that?
Not Joe Burrow.
No, not Joe Burrow.
Damn.
No.
You can get someone of equivalent fantasy point wise in the 9th, 10th round. I guarantee
You're
it.
heartless.
It's how you win championships, baby.
I know.
Baby.
I know. And I do very well. And I just every single year, Mark needs to talk me out of keeping a quarterback. And this year is no different. Fine, I'll let him go. You can trust there's always one or two people that do keep a quarterback in this.
Oh, of course. And they never win.
That's very true. Okay, thank you for the lulv. So
It's the
the
best.
live a couple of live golf players had tried to get a temporary restraining order to stop the PGA from blocking them or some bullshit. Anyways, Taylor Gooch, Hudson Swafford, and Matt Jones all tried to get the law involved to allow them to play in the upcoming FedEx Cup playoffs. And a judge ruled, no, that's stupid. You absolutely can be banned from playing in this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Like, did they made their bed? They have to lie in it, right? Is there any
Absolutely.
allowed to play?
No.
No way. No, they made their bed. They're laying in it. This is it. This is it. You can't have your cake and eat it too, boys.
The PGA Tour expressly said this would happen if you did what they did.
This is called fuck around and find out. And they fucked around, and now they're finding out.
I feel as I was describing it to you guys, I don't know if this is a good simile or not. It is like playing in two leagues. You know,
Yeah.
part of me is like, well, why can't they? Like, it's multiple tournaments. Why can't they
That's
play
right.
in all of the tournaments?
But
it's like, no,
it would be like playing in the KHL and the NHL.
that's exactly, yeah, no, you couldn't do that. You pick one or the other. Your contract is with the NHL or your contract is with the KHL.
Yep. Crazy.
You don't feel bad for any of these guys?
No, they're the ones taking blood money. You don't
That's
feel bad
true.
for people taking blood money.
Out.
Tens of millions of dollars. They can, wipe their tears with those bills.
That's right.
We haven't talked since the MLB trade deadline, gents. So the Blue Jays just did a signing dealing with a bullpen arm in Jackie Bradley Jr.
There it is.
So great news, everybody. If he has replaced Russell Martin in that position player that comes in and out of hand games.
We have our own Shohei Ohtani in Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah. Mark, Chris, take the minute and recap me the Blue Jays trade deadline. Are you happy? Are you sad? Was there anything that we missed out on as fans and as a team? Or, did we really improve that much?
No. Everybody else got better, and we kind of stayed the same as far as I can see. So
We just got bodies to replace other people who get injured, but it's not an improvement. It's just depth.
yeah,
Yeah, Dave's thing with signing Jackie Bradley was just like, oh, well, now there's really no use for Zimmer.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Like, okay, good. Now you have a slightly better utility guy.
Yeah. Who's won a championship? That's it.
Mark, are you, like, is there anyone that you genuinely think the Blue Jays had a bit of a shot on?
Sorry, say that again?
Like, was there anyone you think the Jays were?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they were in on everyone, but everyone had better assets to give up. Look at what the Mariners gave up for Castillo.
Yeah.
And look what the fucking Padres give up for Soto. Yeah.
that was crazy.
Soto, I would have been
Knock out.
upset, I think, because there, but like,
Yeah,
I
they.
wouldn't have been too
I think they
pitching.
would have had to give up too much for him. I mean,
Oh, way too much.
yeah.
But what about Castillo? Do you think if the Blue Jays put together a similar package, would that have been You know,
It would have been, but then there's still the bullpen issue, and that's where I have my issues with.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, well, I mean, the starting pitcher, especially at home, it's fine. We have a solid 1, 2, and 3 in Barrios, Manoa, and Gosman. Now, Stripling, when he comes back, he's a decent 4 or 5.
Yep.
And Kikuchi on his best day is a 5. But then when you get to the playoffs, again, you're not going 5-man rotation. You're going
4. Yeah.
4 at most.
Yeah.
But to get from those guys to Romano, the in-between, boom.
Yeah, because I don't want to know which thread you posted it in about why do they keep putting
Garcia in high leverage situations. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Is there anyone you would trust with the ball that isn't Romano?
Not in the bullpen, no. No one stood out. I mean, early on, Silver looked good, but then now he's back being, meh. And then no one can stay healthy in that bullpen either. I mean, maybe these new arms that they got, maybe one of those will pan out, but
Is Matt? Is it White Matt? Who is the pitcher that did the start?
he replaced what was essentially Stripling because he was also a former starter.
So
the
he'll go to the
Dodgers.
bullpen though, and Stripling.
Once Stripling's back, yeah,
He's okay.
he's all right.
What about the sidearm guy? Whose name?
That we already had, or a new one?
No, the Jays already had.
Simber?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay.
You put any of those guys in high leverage situations, it's over.
Well,
Bases are empty. I'm okay with it because there's no pressure.
I need them to not actively lose the game, which they're also doing.
Right.
Any changes to anyone's predictions about the Blue Jays and where they will rank?
I mean, I did put money on them to win the division because the Yankees are sucking right now.
yeah, but they're sucking too.
Yeah, I know that's.
Losing to Baltimore is not a good way to win the division.
But Baltimore's scary now.
Yeah.
No one wants to play Baltimore.
Yeah, it was the headline yesterday, the day before, when it's like, "Oh, is Baltimore for real?" And it's like, "Well, it's August, so probably at this point."
Like
I would say, yeah.
yeah, if it's past July, you're pretty much you know what you got now.
With our goddamn window of opportunity as Blue Jays fans, when we were growing up, not only did you have to wait for the Yankees to suck, we got older and it's like, okay, well now Boston's good, so window is them sucking. And then with the Moneyball era, it was Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it's also Baltimore now?
Well, that's where we're at. We are at that point where every team in the division is good.
But we're also in a time where there's a lot more playoff positions available as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right. So you don't need both Boston and New York to suck to have a shot.
Yeah.
You just need to be good. You just need to be better than the teams in the other divisions.
And going forward with the balanced schedule, we won't have to be playing the Yankees and Red Sox more so than other divisions.
Yeah.
Okay, I have missed talking to you guys since the Deshaun Watson decision came out.
Right. We did talk about it, right, Mark? On that last one, I think.
No, we
No,
didn't.
it was
we didn't
after.
have a
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us have. So since we have all been together, minus Tyler, I hope you are listening to this and sleeping. Deshaun Watson was suspended for 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Well,
though,
the judge ruled 6 games was enough.
yeah,
Right.
6 games was enough, but the judge said this is a predatory pattern of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And even laughably banned him from getting massage therapy off-site. So it's like that's admitting that
Right. That there's an issue here.
there's a bit of an to me that is
But
just
6
like
games is sufficient to deal with this issue.
that's such a band-aid. It's girls getting sent home in high school for wearing
cut
spaghetti
tops.
straps with short skirts, and it's
No.
like, or teach the boys in the class to not be dirty little perverts.
Boys will be boys.
Like, I know, we're just gonna we know on his own time, he's just gonna start sticking his dick and stuff.
When you're a star, you just grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, but we will ban him from going off site, and that's how
That's
we
how
will
we.
stop. You know,
Yep.
it's so fucking stupid. So the NFL is appealing this decision. Roger Goodell thinks he should be banned for at least a full year.
Well, what I think is interesting about this whole thing is the day before the ruling came out, I believe it was Watson's like agent or lawyers or someone said, "Hey, we're not going to appeal this decision either way. We hope that the league does the same." So like, let's just let the decision be the decision and move past this.
So let's not forget,
Which leads
they
me to
both
believe
agreed.
that they knew that he was getting off a little bit light.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and
And
then
the fact that they both
he
agreed
could
to
have even appealed the 6 games and been like, "That's too much."
Yeah.
So
Since I'm just on the NFL convention, so 6 games for. Did we end up getting 27 accusations? I believe.
it was at least 26. Might have been 27, but I know for sure it was 26.
So suspensions for violating substance abuse policies. I'm just gonna go filter by games. Amount of games here. Give me one second.
Didn't Ricky Williams get suspended for a whole year for smoking a joint
Yeah.
Josh Gordon did it twice.
and got suspended for a year?
A year, both times.
So smoking weed worse than whipping your dick out in front of 26.
2016, Rolando.
That we know of. Remember,
That
there's
we know
66 women.
Right. 26 accusations of whipping your dick out while getting a massage. That's nothing compared to smoking weed.
Von Miller got 6 games.
For
Substance
Oh.
abuse or substance violations. Will Fuller got 6 games. That was very recent. Bradley Robbie got 6 games. That was also very recent. For substance abuse, so obviously smoking marijuana and hitting women, as we discussed. Player suspensions. Let's see. Myles Garrett indefinite for violated unnecessary roughness and unsportsmanlike.
That was the helmet swinging at Mason Rudolph's head.
Yeah.
Indefinite suspension for swinging a helmet.
It's a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
Vontaze Burfict got 12 games the remainder of the 2019 season, repeatedly violating the league's player safety policy stemming
Yeah,
from
that guy's a dirty player.
Minneapolis Colt. Jack Doyle. Insider trading. Michael Kendricks in 2018 got 8 games for violating the personal conduct policy stemming from a guilty plea to insider trading.
So insider trading.
Yes.
Worse than whipping your dick out. Got it. You just got to know where you stand whipping your dick out if it's better or worse than insider training.
Zeke in 2017 got 6 games for violation of the personal conduct policy stemming from a domestic violence case. I don't believe he was ever convicted for anything, but I will have to look that up.
Interesting.
So if you're gonna do anything to a woman, whip your dick out rather than.
But let's not forget, the NFL does want at least a year. It's the judge who ruled 6 games.
No, and that's fine,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely right in what you're saying, because Goodell was like, no, this isn't enough, and he's now like he's seeking indefinite and minimum a year. Which, I mean, he's going to get what he wants, right? Roger gets what he wants.
Well, here's my question for you guys. Maybe, Mark, you know the NFA better. Can't Roger Goodell just say, you do not play in our league? Can't he just void his contract? You do not play in our league anymore.
But then there's a whole lawsuit with the PA who will absolutely sue him back.
Yeah.
Right?
But he can't say, look, you've clearly violated our code of conduct.
And then the lawyers on the Sean side will say, well, we both agreed to an arbitrator. We both chose this person, and this person ruled 6 games, and now you want to back out in that arbiter's decision, and that's why you're going to get this fucking lawsuit.
And then the Cleveland Browns expect Deshaun Watson to be the quarterback for the preseason opener against Jacksonville. And they don't actually have to either. Like, that's my message to the Cleveland Browns and the NFL is, you don't have to start him.
No, you don't. But they're paying him. What is it?
230 million.
230
Guaranteed.
guaranteed.
You don't have to. You don't have to though. You can give the ball to Jacoby Brissett.
It's guaranteed.
But you still don't have to. Like, I'm thinking as a PR person.
No, the PR is going to come in after he gets the 1-year suspension and they sign Kaepernick.
Or the PR is going to come in. They're hoping they win a Super Bowl because the Super Bowl will just sports wash everything, right?
Oh, and they'll talk about all the adversity that Deshaun Watson's gone through.
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
Oh, it'll be so good. I could see the headlines now.
But is there no woman in that office going, maybe just don't start him? They're not. So let us take. I think we asked, I believe a couple podcasts ago, subjectively or objectively, how good is Deshaun Watson?
Mm-hmm.
What was Cleveland's record last year?
8-9.
Sounds right.
And I might have asked this question, so I do apologize. And I know there is that this year. Cleveland was 8-9 last year with Baker Mayfield. What is Deshaun Watson bumping them to?
8-9.
At least 10. At least 10. But it depends on the schedule, because everyone in that division is, well, minus the Steelers, in actual
Do you
contention.
think they're going to make the playoffs?
I don't look at the schedule, but if Deshaun's starting, they have a better shot at making the playoffs than if he's not starting.
So let's say scandal aside, Deshaun
He's starting
Watson
all 17 games.
starting all
Mhm.
17 games. Are the first question, are they making the playoffs?
I have to check their schedule again.
And second question would be, how far do they go?
Oh, they won't go far. There's at least 2 teams better than them in the division. The Ravens and the Bengals.
Browns.
And now Kareem Hunt wants to be traded, so they've lost a running back.
When that guy doesn't want to be in our game. Anyone wants to look up Kareem Hunt? There's they have it looks like a tough schedule, I think. They play the Chargers, the Patriots, then the Ravens, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Bucks. Like,
they do not have an easy schedule.
They don't have an easy schedule. So still 10, you think? At least 10?
He can get to 10. Deshaun can get them 10. Baker wouldn't have gotten them to 10.
And last year they were 9?
8-9.
8.
Yeah.
So 2 games. Deshaun Watson is buying you. But you, like, completely objectively, Deshaun Watson is not your key to winning the Super Bowl.
He's an important key, but not the key.
So is it worth it to start him as that's what I just don't understand. Like, if Tom Brady came out or Gisele Bündchen came out and said, look, Tom Brady shoved me down the stairs the other day.
Oh man.
I can see the Bucks being like, well,
that sucks. But here's a bunch of money, so you don't tell anybody.
We make jokes about it, but it's true. Like, how good you are at sports versus what a shitty person you can be. Like, it's definitely a bit of a seesaw. And I don't think the seesaw is in favor of starting Deshaun Watson enough that I'd overlook this.
Right. But a lot of fans in Cleveland are.
Is that the problem? Are fans in Cleveland like,
They're so desperate for a winner. They haven't had a actual star quarterback in forever.
Who was their star quarterback?
The one who won the MVP. What's his name?
That much of a star, you can't think of his name.
Bernie Kosar. That's
okay. And what year would
That was
that
in
have
the
been?
80s.
80s.
That was in the
Okay,
80s.
well, you know what else is from the 80s?
Me.
My old ass. So
I think you're 7. Oh, are you?
I'm
you're
80.
79.
I'm 80, right on.
Ooh, sorry.
80s years old?
So old.
I hate you all.
So we think Roger's winning.
Oh God, yeah. Roger gets what he wants, man. I think that even if he gets what he wants, it's still not over. Like this still that'll get appealed. Which is
Then that's my worry, is that it's like this is almost like the perfect scenario for Watson. He appeals, that way it allows him to play in week 1 and
Mhm.
throughout the season while this is all going on in the courts.
But that's why, like, it just drives me insane. Like what I posted on our doc for the show of like, okay, then it lands on the Cleveland Browns. You don't have to start him.
but
He's not that good.
but they're
But then-
going to.
They're going to, and I think the PA would have something to say about that as well.
I just be like, hey, we decided Jacoby Brissett was a better guy for the locker room, so we made a decision as the
And then
team.
the PA say, well, you're paying the wrong guy $230 million then, if that's the
Like,
case.
and that's on us. A boneheaded move on us. We just think this guy,
Yeah.
like the players, listen to this guy more.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time the higher paid guy sits on the bench.
So, prediction, as I have asked when we talk about the scandal, if anyone wants to update, is Deshaun Watson starting game 1 as the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback, and or how many games will we see him play this season? Does anyone want to change any of their answers?
I don't remember what I said, but I'm staying.
So let's hear an answer.
I'm saying he's playing 0 games this season.
I'm leaning
Mark?
towards a full season with this whole court thing.
So the 6 games are going away because it's being appealed.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, I'm with Mark. He's going to play the whole season because it's going to be under appeal. He won't do very well.
Ha.
And then it's going to be really easy for them to go like, bye-bye. And then he'll serve his indefinite suspension starting next year after they've proven he's actually not very good.
That would be hilarious.
Gentlemen, do we have other sports news we want to talk about this?
I have one thing because I'd mentioned the Kaepernick thing.
Yes, please.
And I mentioned this to Mark that I saw on Facebook or Twitter the other day. The worst jersey foul of all time. So
Go on.
a Colin Kaepernick jersey, okay? But it was a Detroit Lions jersey. Yep, that's exactly. Colin Kaepernick never played for the Detroit Lions.
Now, I told Taylor maybe the guy was trying to manifest it.
It doesn't matter, man. You can't go and get a player who never played for your team on your jersey. That's ridiculous.
I mean, you could, but you keep that in the privacy of your own home. You don't wear that out in public.
What? Why would you ever get it?
To manifest it.
Like, okay, you know what I'm getting tomorrow? I'm rolling out to the cresting shop, and I'm getting a San Jose Sharks jersey with number 34 on it, and it's gonna say Matthews because I'm manifesting it, baby. He's gonna.
That's fine.
In a year and a half, he's like, I'm out, and he's coming to San Jose. How pissed would you be, by the way?
Oh, I'd be livid.
But jerseys, I don't get that about novelty jerseys because it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's like $200.
Was it an actual like official jersey, or
Well,
was
I
it
mean,
one of
it's
them
hard to
knockoffs?
tell from a picture, but
I would assume it's a knockoff. There's no way.
Right. It looked good enough that in the picture I wasn't like, oh, that's a fake.
Yeah.
It was at least like what? Let's say $50, right?
Right. Minimum. Yeah. Even a knockoff is $50.
I'm all for a gag, but $50 is a high line for a gag for me.
The best gag jersey of all time was that Ducks fan with the Sharks jersey. Said Cups won and had
Cups
double
won.
0.
0. Yeah.
It's the best gag jersey of all time.
Do you see Kaepernick coming somewhere?
I mean, there's smoke there, right? There, if someone's talking about it, that means someone's kicking tires on it. So,
Yeah.
and
Mark,
that would be good press for them.
Yeah.
With all this bad press they're getting from this Watson thing, that would be good press. So, Or maybe they don't give a
Ignore
shit. I don't know.
his dumb decision. They gave him that much money knowing what he did. They don't give a shit.
No.
Mark, any other sports news for us this week?
When Premier League started this weekend for those soccer fans.
Chris and I had very similar burns.
F1's during the summer break, which is good for any Ferrari fans because of how bad they're doing.
Nobody cares about F1, Mark.
Oh, I know at least 2 people now I can talk to with about.
Yeah,
which is great.
my daughter being one of them.
And Paul, yeah. Oh,
that's nice.
Paul and I have some great conversation about Ferrari.
I don't get it.
I used to watch it growing
I don't
up.
get it.
Yeah.
Is Mick Schumacher poised to join Ferrari?
What was that?
Mick Schumacher, I believe, is driving for someone who isn't Ferrari, but is poised to make the move and join Ferrari.
It wouldn't be with Ferrari because they have Sainz and Leclerc signed for a couple of years.
Wow.
But Schumacher right now has no ride because Haas doesn't want him back. There's an open spot on Alpine because that's a whole situation. Oh my god, the drama with that open seat.
Is Leclerc the one who's from Monaco?
Yes.
Can you imagine being from Monaco? It's one of those places that I don't think anyone actually lives there. There he is.
There you
Flies
go.
the Monaco way. Dave has to update. So Dave, for those of you, my lovely partner, has an arm sleeve tattoo of all of the countries he's been to. And with the country code in the middle.
Nice.
And his rule is you have to have like actually set foot in the country. Like
Right.
we did a layover in Geneva.
Right.
So he's not getting Switzerland.
Now, is there a time like as well as it has to be at least an hour or a full day?
Oh no, I don't think so. Well, yeah. So as long as he like leaves the airport.
Right.
Like just in
So-
1 second. Okay, I'm in. Done.
Well, that's a good timing question because he needs to get it updated because he doesn't have Vatican City or Monaco. And he was like he didn't realize they had their own country.
Yep.
Now,
Is
Is the
that-
tattoo size comparatively like the same?
No, it's not to scale.
Okay, I was gonna say because the Vatican City is gonna be like super tiny compared
Little
to
dot.
yeah.
It's a tiny little dot. So, but yeah, I was with him in both places. Monaco was maybe a couple hours because we were staying in Nice. And then myself and Dave's brother-in-law watched F1 growing up. So we asked the driver, our taxi driver, to take us like
On the
basically
road.
through the track.
Yeah, I watched the YouTube video of like the actual route without the F1 setup. It's so weird.
And you go through this tunnel, like it's really cool.
Yeah.
And then Vatican City, we were only there for a couple hours. When in Rome. You were there without me?
Are there actual people who were born and just stay in the Vatican City and live there?
I don't
Or
believe
it-
so.
Right? There's no residential.
No.
Well, maybe the
Yeah.
Pope lives there.
Oh, that's why it's a country because the Pope lives there.
Right.
Women aren't allowed to drive
No?
in Vatican City. That's they have insanely archaic rules. And
Wow.
Everyone forgets about it.
I mean, maybe they shouldn't be allowed to drive everywhere.
What happens if you were to drive there? Would they actually pull you over and give you a ticket?
Oh, they
I
throw
just-
you right the beheading, straight to beheading.
Yeah, right to the Pope.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He's got the
Vatican.
sword. He's ready to go.
I think women can't vote. Like, there's stupid rules. Women in the Vatican City, there are only 32 female citizens issued with Vatican passports. Hold on, voting rights.
Do they have any voting rights?
Vatican City is one of 2 sovereign states that does not allow divorce. The other being the Philippines.
Wow.
That's interesting. Obviously, abortion's illegal there. I don't think I need to look that up.
Obviously.
Women can't wear low-cut or sleeveless clothing, shorts, miniskirts, or hats.
Obviously, because
Women may not wear.
That would stop all the
women
raping.
may not wear the traditional veil. The value of women. Women in the past, women have not been allowed to open a bank account, and that disturbingly recently changed. Yeah,
But that also explain why they're touching little boys because they're not getting their gratification from looking at women, the Catholics.
and that's how gay pedophiles are born. Everyone. if you can't get your gratification from women,
Yep.
obviously go to Little.
That's the next
According-
stop. Next stop.
According to Mark Fun. Before we wrap up, gents, any other sports news or any Catholic rips we want to make? It's too easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The person I
Low-hanging
know one person who's very Catholic, and she has 9 children now, which disturbs me to no end.
Is pulling out a sin?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
How about a vasectomy?
Oh,
That is-
vasectomy is against the rules.
Is
it? Yeah, you're not allowed to get a
It's,
vasectomy.
children are a gift from God, and by participating in any kind of birth control, like intervention birth control, you are denying God's gift. So you are going against the will of God if you do any kind of birth control. But I think you can do that's I think where the rhythm method came from,
Right.
of tracking the cycle and pulling out. Are you watching something crazy, Mark? You just really into
No, there's a spider that I'm like keeping my eye on just to make sure it's not gonna like fall on my face.
Please, if you're listening, go to YouTube. Go near the end of the show, and Jesse, you can put us on mute. Just watch Mark's face, because every once in a while, you dramatic look gopher into the corner.
And you can also watch me struggling with my allergies. Like I've been.
Is it a big spider? You've been good. You've been good at muting yourself. Is it big, Mark?
No, it's a tiny one. That's why I'm trying to keep my eye on it. Because if I lose sight of it, I don't
Are
know where it's
you
gone.
afraid of spiders?
No, I think I'm gonna try and grab it and then put it outside.
Oh, look at you.
Is it? Oh, I do that too. Is it on the ceiling or anything? Or?
It's hanging like from the ceiling, and it's like in the middle of the.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a little. I'm keeping.
I don't want to like land on top of my head while I'm like.
Would be great
Speaking of
content
guys,
though.
It's happened twice, and maybe it's happened to Dave is petrified of spiders, and twice I've been driving and a spider is just from the top of the car, and every time, both times it's happened, I've been like, thank fuck that I was the one driving.
Oh, would he just like steering wheel whip it?
Dave would just for sure not be alive anymore. I will wrap on this story. We were driving home a couple years ago, and there was a spider crawling above Dave's head on the roof of the car. And it was just a moment of debate as we're driving home. Do I tell Dave and risk him
freaking out?
freaking out?
Yeah.
Or do I just say nothing and risk then the spider maybe we could have made it all the way home and he might not know the spider was anywhere near him. But what if it descended down? That would be even worse.
Yeah.
So I told him very calmly he did pull over and then got out of the car and then walked home.
And set the car on fire.
He didn't. We were fairly close to home, and we were on a side street. And he pulled the car over. He got out. I was like, "I'll meet you at home."
That's amazing.
And then I pulled in, and I also won't kill spiders. And I was trying very carefully, and I guided it out of the car. And I rolled down the window. It crawled out just as Dave was walking home, who then kicked the car and squished the spider that I was trying to.
Oh no!
So I tell them that's why they hate him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll capture them in a cup. I slide a piece of paper under. I take them outside. And that's why spiders are nice to me. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. We're at Scotch Sporty, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube to see Mark's spider face. If you like us being nerdy, talking about nerd stuff, but you're like, I would love to hear a little bit more, Chris, then subscribe to Reigns of Podcastamere. We will be going back live with this new spinoff, which none of us are super excited about. So maybe it'll just turn into a Game of Thrones rewatch. We'll see. Was Matt Smith a Doctor Who?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe people will care because Doctor Who's in it. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody.